Finally got a chance to sit down with the GOAT, and in my opinion, the greatest of all time. My attorney, the celebrity attorney, Manny Arora.
How you doing, Mr. Govan? All
I'm
good?
doing all right. I'm doing all right. How you doing? Finally
Just
finally got a
enjoy.
chance to catch up with you.
Yeah, it's been a while. I mean, a lot of phone calls since our case. I'm sure you've been super busy and
Yeah,
trying to
yeah,
find a
yeah.
way to get back to Memphis and try to help somebody else out because your town is a little tough.
Yeah. Definitely that. Yeah, I've been wanting to catch up with you, kind of a lot of my subscribers, and they've been on me about man, you should get Manny. We want to see Manny on the interview. We want to get Manny on the interview. I don't know if you. I think I shot you after the case. They had a post going on, going around where they was trying to had a petition going on, wanted you to run for DA around here. You hear about that?
I did not, but I guess I'd
Yeah.
have to move. So that'd be something.
Yeah. We love to have you, man. We love to have you, man. They love you down here.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I want to I guess go ahead and get into some questions about the case. I let a lot of the subscribers send in some questions to present some questions as well along with mine. I guess my first question would be like when you first took on my case, like what stood out the most, I would say.
How much your family cared about you and your friends, because I had several people from your side ask me to take on the case, knowing the straits you were in and how high profile the case was.
Yeah.
And you had a good lawyer before you. I guess sometimes it just doesn't click with people. Doesn't mean they're bad lawyers. And I met with them, got the information, and it just stuck out to me that something was wrong. And yes, it took me 2 years to get your name cleared, but
Yeah.
I guess it worked out in the end. There was a lot of stress while you were sitting in custody before we got you bail.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of my prior my attorney before you, I actually seen him when I was going back and forth to court when I was out on bond, and I said it a few times. I've been with him ever since I was 18, and when I caught this case, it was just a lot of things that we didn't agree on, or I guess I would say, for lack of better words. And when you came on and took the case, I thought you did. I'm well aware that you did a great, phenomenal job. But when I seen Mr. Massey and I asked him, I said, Massey, why didn't you get me a bond? Why did it take for Mr. Aurora to get hired on the case for me to get bond? And his words were that he had already fixed everything up for me to get bond, and everything was already taken care of. And when you came on, he just handed it over. Um, I wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Well, all lawyers do things differently. It doesn't make them good or bad. And, sometimes things just don't click.
Yeah,
And he may have laid a lot of great groundwork for us, for all I know, but I do know you were in custody, about 4 or 5 months before I was able to get you out. So,
yeah,
maybe I'd push back on that response a little bit. But, I don't know, so I'm not going to criticize or second
yeah,
guess
yeah,
anybody. But you
yeah.
did sit in jail for 4 or 5 months. So if the stuff was done, it shouldn't have been as hard because Judge Coffey wasn't having it as far as
Exactly,
bond goes. If you
exactly,
remember how
exactly,
many hearings we had to have with him.
exactly. Because I remember when you first came on the case, and one of your first questions was why I didn't have a bond hearing yet, and I stated that my attorney was wanting to go through. He said he wasn't through going through discovery yet. That's why I hadn't had a bond hearing, and you almost told me that didn't sound right, so to speak.
Yeah, it's just bizarre. Um, I was meeting up with another famous lawyer here in Atlanta. I'm going to introduce you to him. He just walked into my car because I'm sitting in the
Okay,
parking lot before our
okay,
dinner.
cool.
His name is Suri Jimenez.
Hey, how you
And
Doing
doing? How you
so,
excellent.
doing? How you doing, Mr.
Doing
Menez?
fantastic.
Hey, nice to
if you
meet you.
have any good Hispanic clients, I vouch for them completely out there in Memphis. I was just in
Okay,
Memphis this week, as you know. And so,
okay,
Mr.
cool.
Jimenez, the
I'm
story
a
would
little
know
sad
you.
he didn't take me because y'all got the best food, man.
Yeah, yeah, good, great barbecue, great barbecue. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna see if we could what y'all about to go out or get some dinner or something, man?
We have our sort of like there's two or three of us in like a little dinner group, lawyers wise, and we
Okay,
try to get together once a month to do it.
okay,
And so, with me having to be in Memphis, we had to do it on Friday. And so, Mr.
okay.
Jimenez is still all suited up, because he's
Yeah, I see
always in
suited and
court.
booted.
I'm a
Yeah,
real lawyer, man.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's a lawyer.
I
I
see,
read
man,
and
for
write,
sure.
and I just read and write, and he practices law. So that's how it
Okay,
goes
okay,
until people
okay.
piss
Cool,
me
cool.
off.
All right,
You
I
piss
guess
me
I'm gonna.
off, then I'll go to court.
Yeah, for sure. It's crazy. You brought him in and introduced me to because I had a question as it relates to attorneys. God forbid that you ever get into some trouble, Manny. But if you did, I was gonna ask if you had a chance between three attorneys, and those three attorneys was Drew Finland, Brian Steele, and Mark Agnifilo. Who would you choose?
Oh, go ahead, please.
Well, you say it. Come on.
Well, I don't know those people personally, so I need to have a relationship with everybody. And I'm not a big social media publicize your own stuff kind of thing,
Yeah,
right? Since all this
yeah,
happened,
yeah,
yeah, we did a press conference outside the courtroom because we didn't have a choice. The cameras were there, but we didn't call anybody. We didn't post anybody. We didn't say anything. And sometimes I think you and I got into kerfuffles about it because you wanted me to put all this stuff out there, and I told you
yeah,
why not to do that.
yeah.
And
You did.
so I prefer people under the radar. So those three names, they're huge in the hip hop community and all that. But I would probably hire somebody that you've never even heard of, to represent me. There's one or two guys. But I'm
Yeah.
going to get you a second opinion because this man right here is all about the hip hop.
Yeah.
We call him
Okay.
Mr.
Okay.
Magic
Yeah. So yeah,
City.
that's who I need to be talking
You know,
to.
Yeah,
Hey,
he's
just
what's
say
up,
Mr.
it.
Big
Magic City
B?
in the wings. Yeah.
So
Big B,
the
what's
part
up,
of
Big
the
B?
Oh,
Hey, how
yeah,
are you? Good to
that's
see
his
Hey, I'm
you.
office.
doing all right. Doing for the people that's gonna be tuning in later. That's Big B, Beth Noble, my other superpower attorney. That's one of the reasons why I'm sitting here labeled Mr. Not Guilty as we speak. Yeah, for sure.
what's going on, Miss B?
Yeah.
Pleasure meeting you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
So
you
that. Yeah.
Suri
too.
Jimenez. She's met him a few times in the office.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Well,
Cool.
Yeah.
so I mean, in that question, you laid out some names. Of course, the billionaire lawyer is
Yeah. Drew
known by
Finley.
everybody. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've shook his hand a couple of times, and
Okay.
that's how I know him.
Okay.
I have a relationship with Brian still. I mean, what would Brian still do? I got that shirt. I
Yeah.
sat in a courtroom with him for
Okay.
almost 2 years while he was
Okay.
defending his client and I was defending a co-defendant. So obviously, if those were my only three choices, I would jump with Brian because again, we have that personal relationship. I know
Okay.
him, I trust him, and although he gravitates to cases where the media follows,
Okay.
he's not known to be the one calling the media either. So same kind of thing that Manny says. It's better to just run under the radar. So if I
Okay.
really had a choice, of course Aurora Law. I'm gonna call Aurora
Okay.
Law because it's gonna be a team. And the
Okay.
way that he defends cases,
Yeah.
it's out of this world. It is gonna be motions, motions on motions on motions, and he has
Yeah.
a whole team to prepare and argue them, not just file them, but be
Yeah.
ready to go forward. And they're what we call particularized. They're actually to a point. They're not just I downloaded something that everybody else files and I put it in there and let's see what sticks. No, every single motion that the Aurora law firm files has
Yeah.
a point, and they're brief
Yeah.
and
I'm a
succinct.
witness.
So yeah, so I like that. I
Yeah.
like that. And then if the motions after the whole motion practice is over,
Yeah.
then you go to trial and you destroy them.
Yeah.
But if
Yeah.
my only choices are those three things, those three people that you mentioned, then I'm
Yeah.
going with Brian because I know Brian. I got
Yeah. Okay.
he's a great person, and it always comes down to the relationship.
Okay.
He was
Cool.
on
Cool.
the case with the rapper. He just had one of the co-defendants that wasn't as popular for the 2 years. When Brian was representing Young Thug, there was
Yeah.
like 12 or 13 other people that went to
It
trial. So Suri had
exactly.
one of them.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. On the YSL case.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. So back to my case, Manny. And I guess Big B can chime in if she wants to. What were some of the biggest challenges you guys face when preparing for my for trial?
Well, I've got lots of answers, but I'm going to let Big B answer it
Yeah.
first because she is the newest person to the team and got in there a little late and
Yeah. For
actually
sure.
missed a bunch of school to sit through trial and helped us with the exhibits. Because in your
Definitely.
case, I
Definitely.
think our motions hearings were almost as long as your trial.
Yeah.
I think we
Definitely
went
was.
almost 4 days of motions.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let's get
Crazy.
Beth to say what her thoughts were, and then I'll, give you my
Okay.
usual, except arguing with you. But other than
Okay,
that,
cool. All right. Yeah, so B, what were some of the biggest challenges preparing for my case?
Yeah, I think some of the challenges were um I mean, this feels kind of cookie cutter, but just not knowing what people were going to get up and say, and if witnesses were going to get up there and fabricate things, and
Yeah,
preparing for surprises like that. I think we did prepare for whatever we thought they might try to surprise us with. Um, but just not being able to control and being able to tell what people were going to get up and say, and again, if they would get up and lie.
exactly,
Um,
exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah, that
I
was
think
one of
that
my
was the
main. That
biggest
was
thing.
that was one
Yeah.
of my main concerns as well too. Just um, if the lies would stick with the jury and things like that. So yeah,
Yeah,
Well,
and
to me,
that's what really we went back and forth about every day after the motions hearing and every day after and during trial too.
yeah,
Mr. Govan, me and you sitting there right next to each other,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
talking through trial
yeah.
and even
Writing notes down on the sticky
yeah,
pads.
exactly, passing notes back and forth, especially if you and Manny were butting heads,
Yeah, yeah,
we would talk through what was going on.
yeah, yeah,
Um yeah,
yeah. For
yeah.
sure. Okay. All right. Go ahead, man.
well, for me, it was just making sure we picked that right jury because we had that massive jury questionnaire, and the judge gave us all of like what less than a day to go through 100 jury questionnaires that were like 30 pages each, and making sure because as your listeners probably want to know, we butted heads about changing the venue, and I
Facts. Yeah,
insisted on staying there, and you insisted there, and you almost came to blows with me one day. I said, "We're
yeah,
not doing this kind of thing."
yeah,
And
yeah,
in the
yeah,
end,
yeah,
it's your life. I should have relented, but I just didn't see it as a good thing. You want people in there because there was so much police misconduct that I think people in that town would be embarrassed with what happened, and it worked out that way. Whereas people from Nashville or someplace else probably wouldn't care because they don't have an interest
yeah,
because they don't
yeah.
live there.
So how does that work, Manny? Like, okay, let's take me out of the equation. Another client, and they say, "Oh, Manny, I want my case to be heard in a different county." Do you put your foot down and say, "Hell no," like you did me, or is it their decision?
Well, in the end, I have to use my legal judgment. That's what you're hiring me for. And you had a really good case, so it made it easy. If the case was very prosecution heavy, then yeah, I want to do that to just convolute the issues and get jurors that aren't that vested because it's not their
Yeah,
community. So if it's a very good prosecution case, maybe you can poke some holes in it and say, look, do this, do that. And it's not like they live there, so they don't have that ownership sense to it. So then I would ask to move it, which is hard to do. But when you had a case like yours, if things fell into place and Beth discovered a lot of stuff, because we had what, 4 terabytes of discovery,
yeah, we did.
and the four of us went through that stuff over and over and over again. And and then the witnesses, I mean, yeah, that officer lied through his teeth and the snitch lied, but they made it so easy for us. It's just like they weren't even smart about lying, right?
Yeah,
It was just such
yeah,
arrogance that they think they can
yeah,
get away with whatever because they'd already gotten away with it in the last trial
yeah.
against the shooter.
Yeah, yeah. I was riding the other night and I was thinking and I was like, if they would have accepted the 10-year deal that I signed, I would probably be turning myself in like right now or right around this time. Well, might already be gone, you know. So and it sent a
Yeah, we
chill
wouldn't be
through.
having this podcast,
Yeah,
that's for
yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah. It sent the chill through me, Big B. Like, it was crazy, like, and it almost gave me like a feeling of um, like it's just meant to be.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I had actually signed those papers to do 10 years and got my mind and stuff mentally prepared to go do the 10. But hey, we here, so uh
Yeah, after so long of thinking about that and talking about it and going back and forth
yeah.
and you
Because B, you was
deciding
you was
yes.
actually in that room when I was making the decision.
Yeah,
Yeah, you was
yeah.
there.
And
Yeah,
that was,
yeah,
I mean, it was heavy. We could all
yeah,
feel the weight of it. Um, and obviously it was a decision that you had to make because you would be the one who actually takes on going to prison for it.
yeah.
But it was really weighty. In that room, those hours, just
Facts,
everybody kind
facts,
of holding their breath.
facts, 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 facts. Manny, what in your opinion, what do you think the I guess biggest misunderstanding that the public had about my case?
I think the biggest thing was the government putting out this narrative to make you seem like a bad guy and convict you in the press. That goes against all the ethical rules that the government isn't supposed to comment on stuff like that, isn't supposed to make characterizations or try to have you labeled as, a certain type of predator, essentially, is what they did.
Yeah.
And that's the hardest part because when the government says something, you want to believe your DA, you want to believe your officers, you want to believe all this. And they knew in their heart it was all BS, but damned if they weren't going to let it go. And then they blame it on the victim's family, who deserve better, frankly, saying, oh, the family won't let us settle. They won't cut a deal. We have to go. When it was all just press related. The DA was going through the problems about, am I going to get kicked out of office by the other Republicans because I'm not tough enough on crime, whatever. And it's
Yeah.
like in the end, everybody wants to save their own ass instead of do the right thing. I mean, at some point, do the right legal thing that you're obligated to do. And if you lose your job, you lose your job. At least you can live with yourself. But there's just no shame in the world anymore. People will do
Yeah.
anything to get ahead. I mean, that's too political, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. So with all the underhand things that they did during the case, stuff that we found out, and I guess the negative backlash in the media about me, does that affect your approach as an attorney?
Yeah, I mean, it makes you work that much harder because you know what? The government created this mess. And you had a really good judge in this case. I mean, she
I
did rule in
did.
our favor on
I
a lot,
did.
but I think we had good motions. And the prosecutors, I mean, even they were throwing discovery and evidence at us at the last minute and things like that. But
Yeah. Yeah. Crazy. Yeah.
that's just par for the course. And Beth got a lot of learning done, not how it is in the books. This is how it really happens. And so, you
Yeah.
know,
I guess
it,
it
it all
kind of
worked
lead.
out. So happy
Yeah.
ending.
I guess it kind of leads over into the to my next question about I was gonna ask you, were there ever any moments during the trial where you feel like we were being treated unfairly? Like,
No, I really thought we were treated fairly. This deputies in the courtroom and the courtroom staff. I don't think I've been treated that good in a trial out of my jurisdiction in a long time. Those people really seem to want fairness.
yeah,
And, we don't know anything about the jurors, but I mean, all the jurors stayed except one to talk to us after the verdict. They gave us hugs.
yeah, they did.
I guess, like you said, they started a petition. And I think they were really, just really good. But I will say is I want Beth to comment on this stuff. I need to run with these guys, Mr. Govan. But
Okay,
Beth
all right,
is,
cool.
we talked about it. Her
All right, well,
perspective is what's
I got one
interesting.
last question for you before you get out of here. They wanted me
All
to
right.
ask you about. They said, ask Manny what would he say to all the people that said that his client Lil Durk snitched on King Von to get released from jail.
Well, I would say they're not giving me very much credit for the work that I did. We got him out on bond pretty much right away because we caught the government in a lie saying they had the stuff on video. I'd already been to the location because I knew the security guard that works at the varsity, and
Yeah.
we'd already seen the videos, and it didn't say what the government was claiming. And so when the judge called bullshit on it, they wouldn't show the video, and so he let him go. And then it took me 2.5 years before they just dismissed the charges for a lack of evidence.
Okay.
So anybody that thinks he snitched or this or that, as he snitched on other cases or whatever that somebody else worked, I have no idea. But in our case, we want it straight up on the merits. And I know your people don't know me, but it's kind of insulting. We wanted fair and square. We
Yeah.
beat him. We had the facts. And, if you work hard, you'll figure some stuff out. And that's why I want Beth to talk to you and give
All
you
right,
the real
cool.
skinny from behind the scenes. And
Yeah,
I'm going to
yeah, for
come on
sure,
your
for
show
sure. All
again
right,
if you
man.
give
Hey,
me
look,
more
you go and
questions.
enjoy your evening. I appreciate you taking the time out. Mr. Jimenez, he's still in the car with you.
I'm
All right,
here.
man. Hey, look,
Congrats.
All my Hispanic partners, they get in trouble. I'm sending them your way.
Uh, and congratulations, man. Enjoy life.
All right, I appreciate it. Hey, when I come down to the A, I'm gonna pull up on you.
Yes, sir.
And
All
Beth,
right.
don't embarrass us. Go hard.
I won't.
We get me and B got it from here. We got it from here, man.
Yeah. Well, you
Yeah.
guys are besties. You sat together the whole time, and it was bizarre how I sit at a
Yeah.
table and you guys have to sit in the back. I've never had a defendant sit behind me before,
Oh,
but
that
you
was
two got
weird.
tight. I mean, you got all the camera coverage. I
Yeah.
barely got on screen.
All right, man.
All right. I'll see you
All
guys.
right, bud.
See
Hey,
ya.
Big B, I'm glad to get you on here, Big B, man. How you been?
Yeah, I've been well. Yeah, I'm glad to see you. I heard,
Yeah.
yeah, I've been hearing about some of the times you've gotten to see Manny and talk on
Yeah, yeah,
different
yeah,
shows
yeah.
and things. So
For
I've
sure.
been a little jealous
Have you been
because
checking
he
my
he switched my
have you
hangout
been
time.
checking my you check my podcast out or anything like that? You
Yes, I
did.
have.
All right,
Yeah.
give me your honest opinion, Big B.
I mean, I okay, so I listened a ton right in in August and September when you were launching because I was riding high, um,
Okay.
and missed hanging out every day. But I haven't been listening religiously as much anymore. But I think
Okay.
it's great. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think you're
yeah.
telling
Did you see?
stories
Did
that
you see?
people are interested in.
Yeah. Did you see when I interviewed Seti Nash?
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Are you familiar with 607 Unc?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So did you see that interview was explosive?
yeah. I did. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. 607. Yeah, he actually a good dude though. Yeah, but yeah, shout out to 607. But I had a couple legal questions if you don't mind before you get out of here,
yeah,
B.
for
All
sure.
right. During the trial, when me and Manny would butt heads and go back and forth,
Hmm.
like,
Hmm.
how were you able to relate to that? Like, do you and Manny bump heads sometimes?
Oh yeah, we butt heads a bit during your trial, and
Yeah,
it's just kind of, we're all people. Even
yeah,
though we're working on something and doing lawyering work,
yeah,
we're doing really long hours together, and it's
yeah,
not just really long hours, it's something that we all really care about.
yeah,
Um, and we're really invested in. So kind of just putting your heart and soul into something like that, it's every couple days, everybody's butting heads over
yeah,
different things. And
yeah,
sometimes it's also a mix of a lack of sleep.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, I mean, you guys were butting heads, but one thing that was great about you guys butting heads was that you were expressing what you were actually thinking and feeling to Manny, and that Manny was actually listening, even if it came out in
yeah,
a we're going to kind of go at each other's necks for just a second here
yeah,
verbally,
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
we're going to duke it out and not just let this sit because it's so important.
Yeah, and when we were butt heads or whatever, it never offended me. I always took it as me and Manny, we both were so invested. All of us were invested in the case,
Yeah.
and and so if he wasn't invested, then he wouldn't care as much. So
Hmm.
with that being, it never bothered me. Like it actually was when I sat down and thought about it more. It actually made me feel better, going to
Yeah.
trial, with you guys. And sometimes I would even write stuff down on the sticky note and ask you to hand it to Manny, and you might look at it, you might say no.
I know. I
So
would be like, no, we're going to talk about it later. And you were even
yeah,
like, "Oh, Beth, come
yeah,
on."
yeah, for sure, for
Um,
sure.
and
So
I know yeah, that was frustrating. Yeah, but I mean, I feel the same way. I'm not mad at anybody when that happens,
yeah,
when I butt heads with Manny or with Robert or with
yeah.
Haley,
Do you
or
remember?
even with you, it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, for sure, for sure. Do you
yeah,
remember the part in I think it was in closing, in trial when not Miss Williams, who I can't forget. What's the other lady's
Carla,
name?
Miss
Carla, Miss
Carla.
Carla. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Miss
Mm-hmm.
Carla. When she was doing her closing and she said something that wasn't true, and I was really upset.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
She said that after the incident, the homicide took place, they came back to my house with the
yeah,
car. Like I
yep,
was livid. I wanted to do a backwards flip when she said that, but you guys just told me to
yeah.
let it be or whatever. And I just felt like with her saying it, what if that kind of like stuck with the jury and they convicted me based off of that alone? That's what I was afraid of.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I know. Yeah, I remember just really I could see your reaction to it, and I think you
Yeah,
wrote me a note too. I think
yeah, I
we
did.
even whispered. I think we
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
talked.
yeah,
Um
yeah. Because I wanted the
yeah,
whole trial to stop, like right then, like
right.
because
Right. Yeah.
I wanted the judge to say, jury, what she just said, disregard it. Do not pay any attention to that because that never
Yeah.
happened. But we let it go. It turned out how it turned out, and I'm glad to
Yeah.
be here. It brings like I guess how as far as the verdict, and we were all standing
Hmm.
up there. I think I can't remember if I was holding you guys' hands or what, but I remember somebody had their hand on my shoulders. But what was going
Hmm.
through your mind, Beth, like during, like right before the verdict and during?
Yeah, I mean, I remember when just entering in the courtroom, it was just like my heart rate going up, up, up. I think all of us
Yeah,
were shaking.
yeah,
And I think we were kind of chain linked, holding hands.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But I remember, especially from the moment that jurors started walking in the room, I was trying to look at their faces and trying to get to this point of are they looking at you? Are they
Yeah,
seeing you for who you are,
yeah,
not who the state is accusing you of being?
yeah,
Um, and I remember in that it was like I couldn't read them, of course, because they're people that I don't know.
yeah.
So I think I was just really feeling like, please, please, please.
Hmm.
And what I was really thinking was, yeah, just this looking at them and in my head just saying, I hope to God they did him right, you
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
Um,
Did you did
and
you
mhm,
did you feel like me because watching shows and TV drama over the years, like the shows that I watch, anytime a verdict comes back that quick, the person is always guilty for the most part. Did
yeah.
so when that verdict came back that fast, I just knew that these people had got it wrong. Did you feel the same way?
No, um, well, I think I was I think I was still really cautiously hopeful, but it was those moments though of when we actually got called back into the courtroom. I think I was cautiously hopeful that whole evening we were waiting because the jury went out on, I think it was Wednesday evening, right? And then we all came back Thursday morning and we were waiting and it was a couple hours going by. And I think at that point I was still cautiously hopeful. But when we all walked back into the courtroom, I think that's when I had that feeling that you're describing that I was
Yeah,
like, oh my God. And I think what really happened is the reality set in where it was like, okay, I've been surviving on this hopefulness because
yeah,
I know what the evidence says and I have heard this trial. But that's that moment where it really goes into the hands of 12 strangers. And
yeah,
I think
correct.
that is the weight that really went, um, yeah,
Yeah, I feel you.
could have turned out really different.
Yeah.
Like you
So
said earlier, just chills. Yeah.
definitely, definitely. So looking back at the trial, like I guess, and I'm gonna let you get out of here. What I guess what moment are you most proud of?
Mm. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's such a big question. Um, I mean, I will honestly say for me, so the caveat to this is Manny said it earlier, but this is the first trial I've gotten to do, with them from the front in any trial at all.
Yeah.
Because I'm in my last year of law school.
Okay.
So I just haven't gotten the chance to do a trial yet.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful it was this one. What
Yeah.
I would actually say, looking at, I'm most proud of though. I'm most proud of the time we actually got to spend getting to be with you through that and
Yeah.
getting to
Yeah.
know your family members as well.
Yeah.
And the way that at least I felt connected to all of
Yeah, for
them
sure, for
too,
sure.
like your
Yeah, for
daughter
sure.
Angelica and
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She was talking about you the other
yeah,
day. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, and just, with your other family members too and getting
Yeah,
to meet
yeah.
your extended family and seeing them be there for you. I mean, obviously I'm very proud of the work that we did and
For
but
sure.
some of that comes
Yeah.
down to we looked at documents
Yeah,
and
yeah.
things and I'm very proud of that and I'm very
See,
proud of Manny and
and
um
people don't understand the time, the hours that we set up at this big long gas table with papers everywhere and machines and phones and shit everywhere and just going through everything like this not guilty verdict was earned. It wasn't just given, you know.
oh yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah.
I couldn't God forbid I never get in any trouble again, but if I do, uh Beth and Manny and Robert, the first three people I'm calling. So you know, and
Yeah, well,
and for
I hope it
everybody
doesn't
that's
happen
for
either.
everybody
So
that's checking this interview out, if you get into some trouble and you don't call Manny Arora, Beth Noble, and Robert Wilson, it's something wrong with you. Yeah, 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 yeah. And I appreciate you, Big B. I ain't gonna hold you up no more. When I come
yeah.
down to the A, I'm gonna pull up on y'all.
Yeah, that sounds great. Be great to see you soon. All
I
right.
bet. All right, I'll
Thanks for
talk to you,
having me,
B.
Hernandez. Good to
All right,
see
for
you.
sure. Thanks for being here. Bye bye.
Bye.